Good morning, and thank you for joining today's virtual public meeting. My name is Emma, and I am WCRC's Communications Associate. I'm going to be the meeting host today along with our project managers. This morning, I'm going to go over some housekeeping items before turning it over to staff for the presentation about the project, and then we're going to open the meeting up for your questions. So joining me today in this virtual public meeting is Project Manager Mike Bernbeck and Senior Project Manager Aaron Burkholz. The meeting audio and video is being recorded, and it will be posted to the project page on wcroads.org in the next day or two. After the presentation, you will be asked to virtually raise your hand during the Q&A, and I will provide instructions at the time on how to do this from either your computer, the Zoom app, or your touch-tone phone. In the chat, for this meeting is turned on. If you have questions during the presentation, feel free to ask it in that chat. We will address it during the Q&A period later. You can find the chat window at the bottom of your screen. And now I'm going to turn the presentation over to the project managers. The floor is yours, Mike.
Good morning. I'm Mike Bernbeck. I'm the field project manager for this job. The job is broken up into two funding sources. And so Main Street and North Main Street, which is right there along the north side of the lake, that is being funded through our the money that we receive from MDOT in a turn-back process that we had programmed them to be done using state and federal money, and we bought the project back so that we could use our money, our prices, make it a little cheaper. And then Barker Road is part of our millage that the county voted on a number of years ago. And so but we've combined those two projects to make efficiencies and make it less stressful for the residents of Whitmore Lake. So the existing condition of Barker Road, this is by the library, is not ideal. So we're going to be coming in and milling off the surface, the existing surface, and applying a new surface. And then we will be working on the ADA ramps at the crossings for safety purposes. We have Main Street, same way. We're going to be going curb to curb. So the parking areas during our few days of construction, those parking areas will be closed so that we have the ability to do our work. So the surface, yep. Sorry, I'm getting ahead of myself. I've been told to not do that. So we'll be milling the surface, the old surface, putting on a new surface of a hot mix asphalt, and then we'll be putting new pavement markings down. This is an example of what a mill looks like when we're taking the old surface off. We're going to be taking 2 inches of the old surface off, and so it gets ground up and loaded up on the right hand side on the conveyor belts into the truck. And then this is an example of the machine and the truck in front of them. So this is how we do it. This is our lay down of the new asphalt. So we have the asphalt paver and the truck that we're tied into, bringing us the asphalt. And as I spoke earlier, we have the federal buyout money is for Main Street, and the county-wide millage is for Barker Road. And our total estimated for the job is right around $595,000. We have basically set up for approximately 2 weeks to resurface. That includes our weather that could be coming. Currently, our start date is July 17th for the milling. Before that, the week before, the week of July 10th, we will be, the Washtenaw County Road Commission maintenance crews will be doing some work on the outside edges to facilitate the drainage of rainwater. So that can get off into the vegetation or get to the drains themselves more efficiently than they currently are. During all of our work, we will be having flaggers with what we call lane restrictions, and the flaggers will be working to mitigate, get traffic to move through, even through the signal at both ends. So we ask that you please stay tuned with them, and they will get you through, and we'll try to make this as stressless as possible. On my screen is is the project page is at WCRroads.org. My contact information is on the screen as well. I do get my emails on my portable phone, so even through the course of the day, I do get your questions, and I will get back to you as soon as possible that I know the answer. So, but feel free to give me a call. So once again, here's the picture. We're going from the East Shore Drive intersect, the south side of the intersection at East Shore Drive, up to and through the North Main Street intersection. But we're also going to go up to North Main, up to the county line, and pave that portion, mill and pave that portion as well. So, and then of course, then we have Barker from Main Street to about 500 feet or so south or west of the railroad tracks. The state of Michigan paved the rest of the area there by the exit ramp. So there's no need for us to mess with that material. So.
Thank you, Mike.
Yep.
Appreciate your overview of the upcoming road investments that we're going to make up here. Again, my name is Aaron Burkholz. I'm a senior project manager here at the Road Commission. I work with Mike in our design and construction section, and my role on the project is I'm here at Mike's disposal. I try to help him out when he needs it. If any challenges might come up, I try to lend a hand where I can. But certainly, Mike has these projects well in hand. He's been involved with the countywide HMA program for many years. And through his diligent work, has made many miles of improvements for all of us, for the motorists of Washtenaw County. A couple things that I would like to add. We really have a good communication staff here at the Road Commission, and through Emma and the individuals that she works with, we really have a number of ways to broadcast messages to the public to keep people informed of the work that's going to be performed. So Emma will touch on that here shortly as part of this meeting, how people can subscribe to through our website to project updates. Another thing we do is in advance of projects like this, we put out electronic message boards. So we'll be putting those up again ahead of the work being done on Barker and on Main Street, to give people that heads up that the work is imminent, that it's going to start shortly. Mike's done a really good job this year of coordinating with the individuals involved with the Whitmore Lake Independence Day Parade. And that's something that got complicated last year during the Barker Road project that we did last season. The limits of that project were from the unpaved end of the project down near the school up to just west of US 23 there at Jennings Road. And I was part of that team. We did not realize there was an Independence Day parade. But again, we appreciated that last year the individuals involved with the parade were very accommodating. Mike's done a good job this year following up. And as he mentioned, we're not planning on doing this work until well after the Independence Day parade. So we did learn something from last year from our experience on that project. I did see a couple questions pop up, and not to jump ahead, Emma, but one of them had to do with Barker Road. And if this project would be the same as the Barker Road project from last season, this one is a little bit different. The scope of this work is less scope. Last year's project, we went through and we did a pulverization of that segment of Barker Road from the school to Jennings Road. Then we reshaped that crushed material and overlaid that with asphalt. There was drainage work involved in that job. There was more substantial, like ADA ramp, sidewalk work involved in that job. This job is of a more limited scope. We're going to be milling the old surface off and then replacing that with new asphalt. Mike mentions that we're working with the township to put a sidewalk crossing, an ADA sidewalk ramp in there near the library. But again, the scope of the work on Barker Road this year would be less scope. The other thing related to communications that I'll mention is in regards to the post office, it's very convenient that the post office is right here on Main Street. So certainly myself or Mike can just stop in and speak with the postal employees there and let them know that the work is going to get started. We want to ensure that mail delivery continues during the project. And I noticed that somebody asked about garbage pickup. Honestly, garbage pickup is a challenge. Any job that I've worked on, it can be difficult to get in touch with the correct person at the waste hauler that's involved. So something we can certainly do is follow up with Northfield Township and see if maybe they can provide some good contact information so we can touch base with those individuals involved in garbage pickup. We will be maintaining traffic as part of these projects. So for Barker, for Main Street, we're going to be maintaining traffic with flaggers. So there will be a single lane closure. That's where we would be milling or paving. And then we would be maintaining traffic in the adjacent lane. One of the things we really ask of the motorists is to be mindful, to pay attention, to avoid distractions, particularly through the work zone. Main Street and Barker, there's not a lot of room there, especially on Main Street. And so we've got personnel working immediately adjacent to that live lane of traffic. So it's very important that everyone pay attention. It's very important that motorists follow the direction that's given by the flaggers. That keeps the motorists safe, and it keeps our employees safe out there on the job site. So again, safety is a priority, but we all have to work together to make sure that everyone is kept safe as we conduct this work. So again, I appreciate everybody taking the time today to participate in the meeting. And Emma, I'll go ahead and I'll turn it back over to you. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you, Bert. That was an awesome summary, and thank you for all your extra points. So as Bert mentioned, I am going to go through and show you guys how to find the project updates and how to sign up. Just give me 1 second here. Okay, can you guys still see my screen? Awesome. Okay, so you're going to open Google and you're going to go to WCRoads.org, which I already have typed up here in the bar. This is going to be what our home page looks like. You're going to click on the roadwork and construction tab that's at the top of the screen, and then a drop-down menu is going to pop up. You're going to want to click on current projects. Now, due to the funding of this project, both Barker and Main Street have separate pages. So Barker is going to be right here, and Main Street is going to look just the same. You're going to be able to find it alphabetically, so Barker will be before Main Street. But as you can see here, we posted the virtual public meeting notice up. You've got a map of where the project limits are, which township it's going to be in. You've got Mike's contact information right here as well. So if you need to reach out to him and you forget his phone number, it's right there. We'll also post helpful links here if there's anything that's going to pertain to this project. And then the main area will be where road advisories or any project updates are going to be posted. Now this orange button right here, if you click on it, it'll bring you to a form that you can fill out that will sign you up for project updates. This is so when road advisories are posted or project updates are posted, they'll be sent directly to your email, so you'll be notified. Okay. Awesome. Okay, now we're going to open the presentation up to your questions. So if you are viewing the meeting on your computer, first just make sure to click Join Audio. Then you can raise your hand by clicking the Participants or the Reactions button at the bottom of your screen, and then the Raise Hand button at the bottom of your screen. If you dial into the meeting from your touch tone phone, you can raise your hand by dialing *9. As the meeting host, I will unmute participants with raised hands one at a time, and I will announce your username or last four digits of your phone number when it's your turn to speak. We are happy to answer as many questions as possible, but please just be respectful of each other's time. If your question is answered before you are called on, you can lower your hand by dialing the *9 button or clicking the lower hand button. Okay, let me take a look at the chat. Mark, I see that you have a question and you have your hand raised. So I'm going to ask you to unmute yourself.
Well, I'm unmuted. Hi, I'm Mark. I'm with Northfield Township. I'm the township manager. And, I just had a couple of real basic questions. First is, there's an areas, if you will, along Main Street in front of a handful of our businesses downtown North. I'm calling it North because the road curves in that area, and I'm not sure yet, exactly what direction that is, but we're going to go with North here. And north of Margaret, and that area has some parallel parking for the public, and I just want to double check to make sure that that area is being taken care of by you good folks as well. That's question one. I can leave it at that, and a yes or no is a good answer for me.
Yes, we are. We're going
Good.
curb to curb.
Great, thank you. I may have missed that. The other thing is I just want to make you aware of a terrific event. We're inviting everyone who's on this line right now that we're having a groundbreaking for our community park improvement project, and we would just like to coordinate all that with you guys to make sure that we aren't in your way, and vice versa. We should be able to come in from a direction that isn't impacted, but we just want to make sure that we're on the same page with that. It'll be a brief ceremony, as it were, but it's going to be a ceremony just the same. 1 o'clock on July 14th. So I came in a little late, and so I may have missed some dates, but just a heads up, guys.
Yep. And if you'd like to drop me your information on my email and a phone number, I will keep you updated to what we're doing as well.
Cool, Mike. Thank you.
Yep. Thank you.
Yep.
Awesome. Okay. Now I'm going to switch back to the chat for a second. So I've got Barbara asking here, will work occur on Saturdays and Sundays?
Possibly Saturdays, but we typically do not work on Sundays.
Okay.
Especially during the summertime. Later in the fall when we're pushing weather, yes, but not for this project.
Okay. Barbara also asked, the last time work was done near my home on Main Street. The result was a big bump from Main Street onto my driveway. Will that be taken care of to avoid this type of thing?
Well, I guess if she would send me an email with an address, I can take a look at that. I've got a couple others that ask me certain questions about their frontage that I can take a look, and I can get back with you and see if we can mitigate that.
Awesome. Okay. And Barbara, I'm writing down your name, but if you want to drop your contact information into the chat, that would be extremely helpful. Okay. And then Adam Muller, I see that you have your hand raised. I'm going to ask you to unmute yourself.
On Margaret Street, and my question is, the area right as Main connects to Margaret is very poor. It's got patches on patches, and I'd like to know how far up Margaret is that sort of intersection going to be milled and paved?
We will be milling just west of the joint that from the bad to the good. But but we are going to be taking care of that approach work to get rid of that aspect of it for this job. Yes.
Excellent. Thank you. That's what I wanted to know.
Well, we're also going to do the same thing on the, when you, at the other end, when you out to Parker where the Y is there, we're going to be touching that up as well. So that helps us with our ADA approaches on that sidewalk there on the south side of Barker.
The connection between Barker and
Yes.
West. Okay.
Yes. Yep.
And then will the crosswalk in front of the library, will that get the lights and the painting similar to how the?
We are going to be doing the concrete work for that crosswalk, but those other amenities are with the township, and I don't know the status of that right now.
Okay.
But I do know I'm going to be putting in a wider concrete ramps to cross Barker at that point. Yes.
Thank you.
Awesome. Okay, I'm going to go back to the chat for a second. Just so you know, Mike, Adam said, I'm on the parade for the firework committees. Thank you so much for accommodating our dates this year.
Oh, yeah.
Adam Muller stated in the chat. Okay, you already asked your question about how far the paving will go up on Margaret. And then Adam also asked, will there be a lighted flashing crosswalk installed at the library or near the post office? There are plans for a community park next to the post office, and the signal crosswalk to the lake side of the property would be ideal. Again, Adam.
Yeah, those are with the township. So they're not a part of this project.
Perfect. Okay. Matt M., I see that you have your hand raised. I'm going to ask you to unmute yourself so you can ask your question.
Yeah, thank you. I work for People's Express, or public transit company, right off the south side of Barker Road. Basically, I just need to know, is there a point where we're not going to be able to get vehicles in and out of our lot here? Do I have to make some type of arrangements, or are we going to be able to, get in and out of here pretty regularly and without interruption?
You should be able to get up and through there. If we are right there paving, we may ask you for a couple minutes just so we can get our roller through there to properly roll the asphalt in place, so that and we will get you out. So sometimes we might ask you for 5 minutes at probably at the most, but while we're out there, you'll see the road commission pickups, and just let us know. We'll be more than happy to help you.
Awesome. Okay.
Awesome. Thank you so much. I really appreciate that.
Yep, no problem.
Okay. Does anybody else have any questions that they'd like to raise their hand for or send into the chat? I'll give you guys just a few seconds to gather your thoughts and think about the project for a second. Okay. So it doesn't seem like we have any more questions in the chat or that people want to ask. So just once again, thank you, Mike and Aaron, for helping out with this meeting. Here's Mike's project, the project manager's information. If you need to reach out to him, both his phone number and his email are listed on here. And again, you can go to the project webpage to find all this information, as well as any important information regarding the project itself. Thank you for attending our virtual construction meeting for the Barker Road and Main Street resurfacing project. You guys have a great rest of your day. Thanks.